The 34th release of the WWE Royal Rumble was Sunday at the WWE Thunderdome, the beefed-up and deceived-out Tropicana field in St. Petersburg, Florida, that has turned the home of the MLB's Tampa Bay Rays into an innovative, outwardly noteworthy transmission jungle gym, home to the entirety of WWE's tentpole occasions including Raw, SmackDown and late compensation pre occasions. The Royal Rumble coordinate is perhaps the most promoted and inventive matches among wrestling devotees and past fans the same. In spite of the fact that WrestleMania will consistently be the Super Bowl of sports amusement, if there is one match that is considered arrangement seeing on the yearly wrestling schedule, it's the Royal Rumble. The current year's occasion by highlighted a ladies and men's Thunder coordinate, just as numerous WWE titles on the line. While there are other significant matches on each WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view card, the Royal Rumble matches themselves are the genuine feature of the yearly occasion. In 2021, both the People's Side included amazing exhibitions that saw the victors last almost an entire hour prior to making sure about their shot at a world title at WrestleMania. On the ladies' side, Bianca Belair struggled from the no. 3 spots, outliving 29 different ladies before last killing Rhea Ripley. While Belair addresses the fresh blood on the WWE program, the men's side was won by a legend when Edge last killed Randy Orton to make sure about his title shot. Edge's success was the second time he had won a Royal Rumble coordinate, this exertion coming 11 years to the day after his past triumph. Those 2 matches will be the enduring recollections from the 2021 WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view. However, the card was loaded up with engaging and fulfilling activities start to finish. Those 2 matches will be the enduring recollections from the 2021 WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view. However, the card was loaded up with engaging and fulfilling activities start to finish. CBS Sports was with you the entire route through the occasion, giving outcomes and grades as the activity went down. Peruse on for all you require to know emerging from the Royal Rumble and parchment further for features from the show. 2021 WWE Royal Rumble results, grades. Ladies Tag Team Championship Charlotte Flair and Asuka vs Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler kickoff show. Flair and Asuka got things looking great so far, with Flair taking care of Baszler before Asuka took the battle to Jax. Baszler and Jax in the long run took over by disengaging Asuka and wearing her out while an on-edge Flair paced on the ring cover. Style in the end got the hot tag and went through Baszler prior to hitting a 2-fold natural selection and scoring a close to fall. Ric Flair's music hit, prompting an interruption that nearly permitted Baszler to score a move up on Charlotte. Lacey Evans at that point hindered from ringside, including pulling Charlotte's arms out while she was in the figure 8. Rick gave Evans something to stack her clenched hand and hit the women's right when Charlotte secured in the hold once more, setting up Jax to stick Charlotte after a leg drop for the success to catch the titles. The match was fine, yet the closure was completely unsurprising and the label titles keep on being more prop than an important resource. Jax and Baszler def. Energy and Asuka by means of pinfall to win the titles grade B. WWE Championship Drew McIntyre vs Goldberg, making the move outside where Goldberg tossed him into the ring ventures prior to skewering him through the blockade. McIntyre at last advanced once again into the ring for the chime to ring, beginning the match. McIntyre at last advanced once again into the ring for the chime to ring, beginning the match. Goldberg followed with 2 additional lances for his own close to fall. McIntyre again kicked out after a jackhammer. After the match, Goldberg gestured, told McIntyre you breezed through the assessment, and the 2 shared a handshake and embrace. The match was short, true to form, and followed the Goldberg formula, regardless. For a match no one truly needed to see, it was as tame as could really be expected, if unspectacular. McIntyre, C. Def. Goldberg by means of pinfall to hold the title grade, C+. SmackDown Women's Championship Sasha Banks, C. vs. Carmella. Banks was one stride ahead right on time, however obstruction from Reginald permitted Carmella to assume control over the activity outside put Banks on edge. Carmella kept on shooting ceaselessly at Banks with elbows and lower arms, and Banks started snatching at her knee in the wake of hitting a Meteora, permitting Carmella to keep running the match. Carmella tossed Banks from the ring, where she was gotten by Reginald. After Banks hit a Hurricane Rana on Reginald, he was shot out from ringside. However, Carmella hit Banks and the floor face first on a self-destruction plunge. Banks began rolling, yet Carmella countered a frog sprinkle by getting her knees up and afterwards secured in the code of silence to almost constraining an accommodation. Minutes after the fact, it was Banks who got the accommodation with the Banks statement, holding her title. Carmella is a restricted labor assembly, yet when she is working heel against an awesome grappler like Banks, she can more than hold her own, playing into nastier hostile propensities. Not everything here was smooth, but rather Banks is so acceptable and Carmella adequate that there was a lot to like. Banks, C. Def. Carmella by means of accommodation to hold the title grade, B. Ladies Royal Rumble, Bayley and Naomi began as number 1 and 2, separately. In the wake of coming out at No. 4, Billie Kay got comfortable at the report table instead of entered the ring before the main NXT contestant of the evening, Shotzi Blackheart. Contenders kept on accumulating as no disposals were scored until Shayna Baszler unloaded Blackheart for the principal end of the match. Previous Wiz Jillian Hall was the main genuine astonishment participant of the evening, shaping a union with Kay to frame Billie and Jilly. Victoria additionally made her return, entering the match at No. 10. Members kept on accumulating in the ring with disposals difficult to find before Hall was at long last the second lady out, trailed by Kay. And the match subsided into a more natural beat after Rhea Ripley entered the match and she and Baszler started to get at the ring.